My friends, my brothers and sisters, today I want to talk about the fire we refuse to feed. There are many kinds of fire in this world. There is the fire that warms a home, the fire that lights the darkness, the fire that gathers strangers around one table, the fire that purifies, awakens, and gives courage to weary hearts. But there is another kind of fire. It is the fire of resentment, the fire of humiliation, the fire of rivalry, the fire of suspicion, the fire that begins with one careless word, one wounded ego, one repeated accusation, or one story told without mercy. That fire does not illuminate. It consumes. It moves from one person to another, from one family to another, from one community to another, until everyone is standing in the ashes, asking how the destruction began. And often, it began with something small. A rumor repeated, an insult returned, a disagreement turned into hatred, a wound that was never allowed to heal, a moment when someone could have stopped the fire but chose instead to feed it. Beloved, one of the greatest spiritual powers you possess is the power to decide which fires will receive your fuel. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every insult deserves your answer. Not every invitation into outrage deserves your presence. Not every offense deserves to become a lifelong prison. Sometimes, the holiest thing you can do is refuse to add another piece of wood. Sometimes, peace begins when one person quietly says, "This fire will not continue through me." Many of us have inherited fires we did not start. We inherited old family conflicts, old cultural prejudices, old religious suspicions, old political hatred, old stories about who can be trusted and who must be feared. Some of these fires have been burning for generations. Children are sometimes taught whom to dislike before they are old enough to understand why. Families pass down bitterness as if it were an heirloom. Communities preserve old injuries so carefully that healing becomes to feel like betrayal. We are told, never forget what they did. Do not speak to those people. do not forgive too quickly. Make sure they suffer the way we suffered. And slowly, pain becomes identity. The wound becomes the family story. The anger becomes the culture. The conflict becomes so familiar that nobody remembers what life felt like before the fire. But you are more than the pain handed to you. You are more than the bitterness you inherited. You are more than the battles that began before you arrived. You may have received the fire, but you are not required to carry it forward. There comes a moment in every human life when we must decide: will I become another keeper of the old flames of hatred, or will I become the place where the burning finally ends? Healing does not mean pretending that nothing happened. Peace does not require you to call injustice acceptable. Forgiveness does not mean giving unsafe people unlimited access to your life. Refusing to feed the fire means refusing to allow another person's wrongdoing to transform you into something you no longer recognize. It means saying, I will remember without becoming bitter. I will protect myself without becoming cruel. I will tell the truth without surrendering my humanity. I will seek justice without worshiping revenge. Anger is not always wrong. Sometimes anger reveals that something precious has been violated. It can tell us that a boundary has been crossed. It can awaken us to injustice. It can give us the courage to speak when fear has kept us silent. There is an anger that rises because love refuses to look away. But anger was never meant to become our permanent home. Anger is a messenger. It may knock loudly at the door. It may bring urgent news. It may tell us that something must change. But we must be careful not to place the messenger on the throne. When anger becomes our master, everything begins to look like an enemy. Every disagreement feels like disrespect. Every correction feels like an attack. Every silence feels like rejection. Every stranger becomes suspicious. Every conversation becomes a battlefield. The question is not whether you will ever feel anger. The question is whether anger will be allowed to choose your words, control your decisions, and determine the condition of your soul. You can feel anger without becoming destructive. You can confront wrongdoing without surrendering to hatred. You can defend what is right without losing your tenderness. You can stand firmly without setting the whole world on fire. The flame of one does not ask us to become passive. It asks us to become powerful without becoming poisonous. We are living in a time when outrage is constantly being offered to us. Every day, someone is telling us whom to fear, whom to blame, whom to ridicule, whom to reject, whom to treat as less than human. Outrage travels quickly because it gives people a temporal feeling of power. For a moment, anger can make us feel certain. It can make us feel righteous. It can make us feel as though we belong to the good side and everyone else belongs to the darkness. But outrage rarely asks us to understand. It rarely asks us to listen. It rarely asks us to examine ourselves. It simply demands more fuel. Another comment, another accusation, another cruel joke, another public humiliation, another person reduced to the worst thing they have ever said or done. And when cruelty is performed by people who agree with us, we are tempted to call it courage. But cruelty does not become holy simply because it is directed towards someone we believe is wrong. Hatred does not become love simply because it is wearing the clothing of justice. Dehumanization does not become righteous simply because the crowd is applauding. The world does not need more people skilled at setting fires. It needs people with the courage to extinguish them. It needs people who can enter a heated room without increasing the temperature. People who can disagree without destroying. People who can correct without humiliating. People who can hold strong convictions without losing compassion. People who remember that even those who oppose us belong to the human family. Some battles will come looking for you. They will arrive through conversations, messages, social media posts, family gatherings, workplaces, and communities. Someone may misunderstand you. Someone may speak unfairly about you. Someone may provoke you because they know exactly where your wounds are. Your first instinct may be to answer immediately, to prove your point, to defend your name, to make sure everyone knows your side. But not every battle is your assignment. Some arguments are not seeking truth, they are seeking fuel. Some people are not asking questions because they want understanding. They are asking questions because they want an opening through which they can attack. Some conflicts cannot be healed by another paragraph, another explanation, or another sleepless night rehearsing what you should have said. There is wisdom in knowing when to speak. There is also wisdom in knowing when your silence is protecting something sacred within you. Walking away is not always weakness. Sometimes Walking away is the moment you reclaim authority over your life. You do not have to chase every misunderstanding. You do not have to respond to every accusation. You do not have to prove your heart to someone committing to misreading it. You do not have to set yourself on fire to convince others that you carry light. Let your life speak. Let your character speak. Let time reveal what argument cannot. Protect your peace. Not because you are afraid of conflict, but because your spirit was not created to become a permanent battlefield. Perhaps you grew up in a home where people shouted instead of listened. Perhaps punishment came quickly, but tenderness rarely came at all. Perhaps apologies were considered weakness. Perhaps silence was used as a weapon. Perhaps family members held grudges for years and expected everyone else to choose sides. Perhaps you learned that love could be withdrawn whenever you disappointed somebody. These patterns do not disappear simply because we grew older. We carry them into marriages, into friendships, into workplaces, into churches, into the way we raise our children. Until one day, we hear the same painful words coming out of our own mouths. We see ourselves reacting in ways we once promised we never would. But the moment you recognize the pattern, you are no longer powerless before it. Awareness is the doorway. You can pause. You can choose another response. You can apologize. You can ask for help. You can learn to communicate without wounding. You can become the first person in your family to say, "We will not solve pain by causing more pain. We will not use silence as punishment. We will not make love something people must earn. We will not pass this wound to another generation." Breaking the chain may feel lonely at first. People who are accustomed to your reactions may not understand your healing. Those who benefited from your lack of boundaries may accuse you of changing. And they will be right. You are changing. You are becoming a safe place. You are becoming a new beginning. You are becoming the point in the family story where the fire stopped spreading. We often speak of peace as though it were hiding somewhere. We say, "I'm trying to find peace." But peace is not only something we find. Peace is something we practice. It is created through choices that may appear small but carry enormous spiritual power. Peace is the breath you take before replying. Peace is the question you ask before assuming. Peace is refusing to repeat a rumor. Peace is choosing not to embarrass someone publicly. Peace is ending a conversation before it becomes cruel. Peace is admitting when you were wrong. Peace is listening for the wound beneath another person's anger. Peace is protecting a boundary without attacking the person who crossed it. Peace is refusing to recruit an audience for a private conflict. Peace is remembering that winning an argument is not the same as healing a relationship. These choices may never be celebrated. There may be no applause when you refuse to retaliate. Nobody may know how many words you decided not to say. Nobody may see the message you wrote and then delete it because it carried more venom than truth. But every time you refuse to feed hatred, something sacred happens. The chain weakens. The temperature lowers. The future changes direction. The world becomes slightly safer because you were in it. The truth flame is not the fire of destruction. It does not demand enemies in order to feel powerful. It does not burn people so that others may admire its brightness. The truth flame warms. It gathers. It reveals. It gives light without asking the darkness for permission. It is strong enough to face hatred without becoming hatred. It is courageous enough to confront injustice without abandoning compassion. It is sturdy enough to remain human in a world that constantly encourages us to divide ourselves from one another. This is the flame we are called to carry. Not the wildfire of resentments, not the smoke of suspicion, not the sparks of careless speech, but the steady light of love that knows what it stands for. A love with boundaries, a love with courage, a love that tells the truth, a love that refuses cruelty, a love that will not allow the actions of another person to determine the quality of its own spirit. Today, consider the fire that has been asking for your fuel. Perhaps it is an old resentment you revisit whenever you feel wounded. Perhaps it is a conflict that has taken more from you than you wish to admit. Perhaps it is an argument you keep having in your imagination. Perhaps it is a family division that everyone has accepted as permanent. Perhaps it is the harsh way you speak to yourself whenever you make a mistake. Perhaps the fire is not between you and another person. Perhaps it is burning within you. You may have spent years punishing yourself for decisions made by a younger, frightened, or wounded version of you. You may have believed that shame would make you better, but shame does not heal the soul. It only keeps the wound open. You are allowed to learn without hating who you are. You are allowed to take responsibility without sentencing yourself to lifelong condemnation. You are allowed to put down the weapon you have been using against your own heart. Let the fire end here. Let the accusation end here. Let the inherited hatred end here. Let the endless need to prove yourself end here. Let the belief that you must hurt others before they hate you end here. Let the old story end here. You do not have to carry every flame handed to you. You can choose the one that gives light. When you feel yourself being pulled into anger, pause before you respond. Ask, what am I about to feed? Will those words bring clarity or only heat? Am I seeking understanding or am I seeking victory? Will my response protect what is sacred or simply continue the injury? Am I speaking from my deepest values or from my freshest wound? Then breathe. Give yourself enough space to choose. You may still need to speak. You may still need to confront. You may still need to say no. But let your words come from the steady flame within you, not from the fire that wants to consume everything around it. May you recognize the fires that give life and the fires that steal it. May you have the wisdom to know which flames deserves your devotion. May you refuse to carry hatred simply because someone handed it to you. May you break the ancient chain between being wounded and causing wounds. May your anger reveal what must change without becoming the ruler of your heart. May you speak with courage, act with wisdom, and protect your peace without losing your compassion. When conflict invites you to become cruel, may you remember who you are. When outrage demands your fuel, may you keep your hands open. When the world asks you to choose hatred, may you choose the flame that warms, gathers, and heals. And when future generations tell the story of your life, may they be able to say, the fire came to them, but it did not pass through them. The hatred reached their door, but it was not welcomed inside. The old wound asked to become another wound, but they chose healing. They became the place where the burning finally ended. One flame, one family, infinite grace.